and if I'm going to be on AM, and if I'm going to be on a transistor rig, I just set it operate sideband. Anyway, Dr. John, sure was good seeing you, and nice having an eyeball visit with you. And you've got quite a collection of stuff there. Want to let you know, if you're copying me, the 807s I got from you were absolutely perfect. I've not tested the dummy load, but the 807s were perfect. Thank you very much. And I painted the side panels on the 20B3 today. They were in pretty rough shape and had a big blotch of red spray paint on it. I guess where the transmitter was marked for being condemned. But and some gouges in the sheet metal. And I took some Bondo and filled all that in and put some paint on it. And now it looks dadgum brand new. KF4TXQ. And then I guess either pass it to Dr. John or Richard and try to pick them up. W4AX.
KN4ME, I'm back on the big rig.
All right, that sounds more better there, Dr. John. And, man, you sound great on the 20V3, Mac. It's a wonderful piece of gear, and you did a wonderful job restoring it and getting it going. But anyway, yeah, I'm the same way. Of course, I'm running sort of a hybrid station here. But I tell you what, I just can't get away from that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. Well, you know, the 7300s are beautiful in terms of what they generate. So, you know you're starting with some quality audio and quality RF signal and so forth, and you know exactly where you are on the band. So there you are. So I just try to go with it this way. But I'm back to my old 813s. I can't get away from 813s no matter how much I try. And they're lovely tubes, there's no doubt about it. We used to say back in the 70s, you know, the 813s were made to be shot at, and they enjoyed the employment in the military very much. And, you know, the only thing about the 813s that puzzles me is why the Hallicrafters Company didn't use an 813 in the final of the BC610. Those 250 THs are wonderful, but I don't know about triodes and all the problems that brings up. I love tetros. So anyway, that's me. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna send it to you, Dr. John. KN4 Mike Echo, and maybe you pick up Richard. W4 WFL. This is KF4 TXQ with the Mullet Roundtable. Over.
Well, I'm going to keep it real short. KF4 TXQ W4AX and I just blank out, 4 WFL. KN4 Mike Echo, and I'm back out in the shack. I was inside and running the Jeep 90 at 5 watts. And Greg could hear me. He's only 12 miles away. I was as high as 30 over. So the little rig works. It's the first time I tried to use it on AM. And I just got a text. I think it's David, 84Q. If I've got the handle wrong, I apologize. But he said he was hearing me on the 5 watts. And he's up in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, west central Tennessee. You might correct me on that. At any rate, I don't think the QRP is going to catch tonight. I'm doing the northeastern FM stations quite well here in North Alabama. And they have excellent audio and interesting conversation. It's two different sets of conversations. And Mac, thanks for the nice words there. It really was an enjoyable visit, and hope that's not the only one. We'll see if we can get Cactus down. And Sam and I had talked about having a ham fest here, or a weekend get-together and inviting everybody. I think that's a good idea, but I need to have a good bit more organization before we try that. I think it's W4 WFL. I have to check the log. I apologize. With the group KN4ME.
Yeah, this is W4WFL. Mac, yeah, I got a 7300 like Sam has, but I'm actually transmitting on a Johnson Viking 1, and but I don't know if I want to reduce the drive on it and try to work QRP with it. the thing's working so good and everything, I'm not going to mess with it. It's working really well. And I think Dr. John might be right. This might not be a QRP night because I'm hearing everybody running QRO just fine, but it's real light down here on the Gulf Coast here in some of the low power stations. So I think I'll just keep running like I am and go from there. And so let's see. I'm going to pass it over to I think Sam. Sam, you're next. Believe you're on deck. KF4TXQ. This is W4WFL.
Sam, Richard passed it over to you.
I think he didn't kick his linear on.
That's a whole lot better. Got my plate current down where it belongs. I need to reset that knob a little bit. You know, I have one tune circuit that I have to tune, and once I do that, it's tuned all the way from the tank circuit to the feed point of my inverted V.
Dr. John, his carrier's 30 over 9 here. He just lost most of his audio.
And I'm glad to know that the design proved itself to be worthwhile. So anyhow, there you go. Well, back to you, Mac. I guess it goes back to you. It ought to go back to you. And I sure do love your 20V3. Sounds great. And I'm with you. You know, if you can generate all that wonderful power and wonderful audio, why not have it out there where somebody can hear it? So anyway, W4AX, Ball Ground, Georgia, and the KF4TXQ. Good to be with y'all tonight, and whoever calls the net, I'm ready with the mystic statement anytime. Over.
All right, and anybody else that wants to join, please come on in. Certainly not anything closed round table about this. But thank you, Sam. KF4TXQ, W4AX. And, well, Dr. John, I think it'd be fun to have a little mini ham fest there at your place or wherever. You guys would also be welcome to come down here. And if you're down this way, I'd love to host you here as well. And I'm going to host a couple of folks. Let's see, I think you might know Jay, KK5IM. He's one of them, and they're coming to stay with me before Dalton. So anyway, visitors are always welcome here. Tom, W4UOC, is coming over next week to pick up his Apache that transported back for him. I'll let him know that this morning. So everything's coming together. And Sam, I'm with you. On my 610, it sure would have been nice if they'd put an 813 in there instead of what is I got too many tube numbers in my head. 250TH. I've got spares of all tubes for all my rigs. But boy, I tell you, some of that stuff's becoming pretty unobtainium. But I know Dr. John's got a lot of it. So over to you, Dr. John, and then on over to Richard unless someone else comes along. Anybody else wants to jump in, come ahead. KN4ME, W4AX.
Okay, K4CWW dragging in.
Yeah, okay, Perry, we got that very loud and clear, CWW. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Alan, OZI, and Tom, TAB. Let's take a quick standby and see if they are actually in there with QRP. And then, Perry, you go ahead and pick it up. Let me just quickly, before I forget it, which I will do, I have at least one 450TH that appears to be intact. There may be four of them. I think there are actually, but now back there in the other storage area that we did not visit. And then I have 250THs. And I have another place out in Waterloo, which is a good 30 miles, or from here it's about 45. And there is a Wilcox 99A transmitter that Jerry, W4 Fine Radio Equipment, FRE, passed on 3 or 4 years ago. He got that thing working. I had it for years, and it's got 4 different decks in it. Each one's a 250 TL, and it's got 2 modulator decks that are 813s crowd connected, and you could run any two of those decks simultaneously on any mode, RTTY, AM, or CW. They were airport transmitters, analog dial-up, rotary dial. That is still out in Waterloo, and it worked. It's there's some stuff out there. Okay, Perry, go ahead and, if you will, stand by and see if OZI and TAB are in there. This is KN4, Mike Echo.
Copy, K4C. What did we get, brother? Yeah, I don't know. I still couldn't copy. I think you guys convinced me. I decided to turn on the regular radio, but I'm not going to talk too long. Let me get it to somebody who might be able in a better position to copy. I heard at least 2 guys in there, but they were right down under the noise level a little bit. I don't know who's hearing the best. It might have been you, Mac, that was hearing the best. So I guess I'll go back to you. W4AX, K4CWW.
All right, Perry. I think it's W9TAB, Tom. And Tom, if you want to make one, go ahead. And I did not hear Alan in 4OZI, even though he's only about 20 miles from me as the crow flies. And then, Tom, pass it over to Richard, W4WFL. W9TAB, and it may be N9TAB. Sorry, Tom. W4AX.
This is W4WFL. Yeah, I think tonight QRP is going to be a tough way to go, but anyway, it'll be interesting to see. I hear you, Tom, really good, but then you're just across town from me, and I don't know how you're doing elsewhere, but over here across town, I've got a halfway decent copy on you here, and the audio sounds good. And so anyway, I'm running at my regular power level right now. I think I'll elect to just stay here as it is. So anyway, this is W4WFL. I don't know who's on deck. I'll turn it over to Sam, and he can decide where to go from there. W4WFL over to KF4TXQ.
Thank you, Richard. W4WFL in the group. Let me do a little more tuning. I don't know what's the matter with me. That's more better. I think what I need to do is back off on my drive here. That made it a whole lot better. Let me look in here and look at my plates. That's my plate dissipation indicator. The color of my plates, I have no color now. That's what I was looking for. But anyway, this is KF4TXQ, and this is the round table before the Gulf Coast Mullet Society Mullet Net. And I'm glad to hear all you mullets swimming around out there on 3885. I wish I was a mullet swimming in the sea. I'd have all you good AMers just a fishing after me. So anyway, whoever's going to pick it up next, if we don't have a net control show up, Mac, you pick it back up again. How's that? This is KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama. Good to hear all these good signals tonight.
Break, is the frequency in use, please? Is this frequency in use? Now calling the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. Now calling the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. A W4GCM is the official call sign of the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. This net meets Thursday evenings at 1800 local time on 3885 kilocycles in the AM mode with W4, GCM being the control station. Gulf Coast Mullet Society was formed July 27, 2002 for the preservation and use of tube-type AM amateur radio equipment. This is a directed net. Your net control for this Thursday evening is Richard. My call sign is WA4 Foxtrot Uniform, and I'm located in Pensacola, Florida. In remembrance of our Mullet Society Solid Keys and in appreciation for our veterans and law enforcement members, I'd like to direct 30 seconds of our silence in their honor starting now. W4GCM. KF4TXQ. Sam, are you on?
Roger. W4GCM. This is KF4TXQ, and here is the official Gulf Coast Mullet Society mystic statement. The mullet has a gizzard like a chicken. Could it be that the mullet is the chicken of the sea? Back to W4GCM and all the fine mullets swimming around. This is KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama. And thanks a lot for holding the fourth on the net there, Richard. You're sounding good. Over.
Roger. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to ask for general announcements for the good of the net, and if so, please come now. Phonetically, your full call sign only. And this is WA4FUU, and I want to announce that we have proclaimed February 2024 as QRP month for the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. Each Thursday of this month use low power, just as you should tonight if you have it. Dig out your DX60s, HC40s, T60s, or homebrew, and check in on that. Your big stuff, obviously, if you don't have anything that qualifies as QRP or low power. There will be 2 awards given out this year. The station that's running the lowest power and the greatest distance from the net control station, who will be W4TP, will be awarded the official low power first place certificate. Also, the station running the least amount of power will win the Gulf Coast Mullet Society How Low Can You Go certificate. February 22nd, the low power contest will take place. W4TP John will be your net control and also the master of ceremonies. Stations reporting should also provide international site, a brief station description, and a level of RF power to the antenna. And that's all that I have. We'll bring you on with our net this evening. I want to welcome everybody. Conditions are kind of unique tonight. A little interference from QSB and so forth. But we've done this before. It won't be the first time. Won't be the last time. So are there any stations wishing to list items for sale or items that are needed? If so, please come now phonetically. Full call sign only, please. All right, nothing heard. We're going to do one more 30-second turn to fine-tune our rigs, and we'll continue with our net. This is W4GCM. mobile stations wishing to check in on suspects now again here. Full call sign, phonetically, please.
Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Victoria.
Jimmy, go ahead. Kilo Hotel Victoria.
Kilo 10 watt. 10 watt.
N4OYT. What about 2 watts?
Okay, I heard KHV, Jimmy, and I heard TRAM CB. There was one other station in there. If you'd like to try it again, I'm very willing to copy.
N4OYT.
Any relays for that station?
Yankee Tango.
That was N4OYT, Chuck, down there on the coast.
Sam, do it one more time for me.
Chuck, N4OYT. And let's see, I'm trying to remember the name of the little old town where he is. He's down there close to Savannah.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick up W4KHV or K4KHV. I'm not looking at my roster. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize, but go ahead.
Okay, Rich. Well, we're running 10 watts here. I don't know how well you're receiving me, but thought we'd try it tonight. And I would try to keep it up there next go around if this does not get cold. I'm talking to too many people on low power. Dr. John, Sam, and some of the rest of them, and Matt, and all on high power. But we're going to leave it right here for right now. Let somebody else try it. Up good overgo, but sunshine, no rain, and a little bit of wind, not much. So we're looking forward to 20 something, I think we said we would. So back to town, W4GTM, KHV.
Thanks so much. I'll tell you what, I have no problem at all with your 10 watts. Perfectly solid copy and good audio and so forth, so I thank you for your effort. And observance of the low power mode. We thank you very much, and we're going to move over to W4TV. Tom, are you there? Tom. And Tom, I apologize. This is you, or respond to you on W4 station. But you're not, and I copied you 100%. I don't know how much power you're running. Do you have the amount of power to the input to the antenna? Roger. Well, you sound good. As I said, no problems whatsoever. So thank you very much. And I'm glad to see that this low power loop is in order and proceeding as we'd hoped. So Tom, I'm going to break with you and go to N4OYT. Chuck, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Richard. This is November 4th.
I'm going to need some help with this one.
Your name's Chuck. I've got about a 2-watt carrier, almost 3 watts of carrier. It's modulating up to about 12, 13 watts. I'm in Bloomingdale, Georgia, about 20 miles west of Savannah. So we'll turn it back to you, see if you can hear it.
Richard, that was Chuck, N4OYT in Bloomingdale, Georgia. And he's running 2 watts, under 3, he said.
Okay, Sam, I thank you so much. I knew he was there, but I honestly could not copy him. And it's interesting that you say he's running between 2 to 3 watts of power. and I'm sure that it probably will improve over the evening. So we're going to break with Chuck. Are there any other stations who would like to check into the net, or I should say any other QRP stations?
Alpha 4 India, 5-1.
W4OLJ.
Okay, I'm going to go back again to the top. We're back to India. Greg, go ahead, please.
This is WA4II, and I'm operating 5 watts. I've got a terrible line noise, and having trouble hearing some of it. I've got a 10 over 9 line noise. But anyway, W4 GCM, this is WA4II. That's it.
WA4, India. Greg, I apologize. I again screwed up on the prefix. Well, I've got a good copy on you. I think you said you're running 4 watts. Is that Roger?
Well, the radio says 5, actually 5 watts. Let's say watt meter, yeah, 5 watts.
Okay, well that's great. And Greg, thank you so much. And of course we've got several days and, weeks really, before we have any kind of validation on the wattage. But boy, your station sounds good for that limited amount of power. So we're going to break with you and go to John. John, what are you running tonight?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. W4TP. Now I'm hearing Jimmy over here at 10 watts, blowing it away, Jimmy. And I'm hearing all the guys on low power. M4OYT running 2 watts. He was coming in real well. We're running 1056.2, and we are at 10 watts. 10 watts. So we'll turn it down some more before it's over with. And if you don't have that power, just run it as you can. And if you run it quicker,
Thank you, John. W4TP, that's our net manager. And John, I apologize. I was going to emphasize the fact that run what you got. And I didn't do it. So anyway, we're going to break with you, John, and I'll accept the demerits tomorrow. And W4OLJ. Virgil, go ahead, please.
W4GCM in the net. This is W4OLJ. Okay, Richard. Well, we're copying everybody that has transmitted yet so far. K4KHV and W9TAB and N4OYT and WA4II. Copied them all up here in Sweetwater. And I guess I kind of jumped the gun. I'm not exactly running QRP. I'm running a Ranger about 40 watts. I guess that would classify as low power instead of QRP, I guess. But anyway, just wanted to get in here. Sorry I jumped the gun, but I'm copying all those stations, well enough to understand them good. So anyway, you can do a lot with low power there, with a decent antenna. W4GC, thanks a lot for picking me up there. W4GCM, W4OLJ.
W4IWW.
W4OLJ, Virgil. Good copy on you, my friend. And I understand that you're not running as low as you can go, or maybe you are. Maybe that's the least amount of power that you can operate with based on your transmitter. Maybe it won't go any lower, I don't know. But a good copy on you, no problem whatsoever. And this is just starting out. This is the first day of the month of February. And I'm sure that everything is going to improve from our techniques and so forth, as well as hopefully the weather. So Virgil, thanks so much for your time. I'm going to break with you. W4I Diddle Diddle, I heard you, and then Roy, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Richard. Well, I'm not running QRP, but I'd like to say this. I've lost 2 rigs this past week, this past week, and I'm not messing with nothing, Richard. I'm throwing this like a war, so good luck to everybody. Good to be here this evening and enjoying the Mullet Net. Always good to be a part of it. I'll not hold it, Richard, turn it back to you when I finish statement. I hope everybody feels as good as I look this evening. Back to you, Richard, from W4, Diddle Diddle, Pensacola.
W4I Diddle Diddle. Okay, Roy, no problem whatsoever. Like I said, if you don't have low power, then run what you got. And so everything is lovely, if you will. So I want to thank you so much, and we're going to break with you. Any other whiskey calls would like to check into the net?
Whiskey 4, Oscar Bravo.
W4 WSL. Richard, go ahead, please. Okay, Richard. Well, good signal. I have no problem whatsoever in copying your 10 watts. And I want to go back for a moment, if everybody will allow, to W4OLJ. Virgil, are you still there?
Yes, I am, Richard. Go ahead.
Did you tell me what kind of power you're running?
Yeah, I'm running 40 watts with a Ranger. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Thanks so much. I just wanted to know, I'm jotting down the power levels for each of the stations that check in, and we're doing that obviously because some of the awards are based on wattage and distance, so I just wanted to make sure that I copied the information. Virgil, thanks so much. You got a nice signal, my friend. So to break with you, are there any other whiskey calls that would like to check into the net?
Whiskey Bravo 4, Tango, Oscar Mike.
W4MAC.
Whiskey Bravo 4, November Kilo Mark. Whiskey 4, Oscar Bravo.
Okay, I'm kind of a train wreck. I think I heard W4TON.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Tango, Oscar Mike. Sorry.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Tango, Oscar Mike. Go ahead, please, sir. And very good evening to you, and welcome to the net.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Name is Ed, Echo Delta, and we are in Tallahassee, Florida, Leon County. We're a little bit north of Lake Jackson, running about 50 watts. Just got a new radio up and running, an Icom 7300, and I just got a brand new 7610, and so just sort of was cruising around the band and trying the different modes, and came across Shaw's Net here. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but just want to make sure that I had the radio set up and things are working okay.
Well, Thomas, listen, W4TOM, it sounds great. No problem whatsoever with your 50 watts. What is your name, sir?
I'm sorry. My name is...
We do this every Thursday evening, and we got a pretty good following. We're still doing whiskey calls right now, as you probably can imagine, and we'll move along. Probably 40 check-in of low power achievement, and also we're going to do the I'm stumbling around the station running low power, and then a certificate as well, based upon, as I said, low power, and it will be a certificate achieving how low can you go. And at any rate, this is the first, being the first of February. This is the first evening that we're stumbling through this, if you will. So I'm going to break with you, Ed. I want to thank you for your participation, and I hope to see you again. Hope you come back next week. Now, there was a station with a Whiskey India, and I got to admit, I did not copy your call sign. So if you bear with me and try again, I'll copy it if I can, and try my best.
Whiskey Bravo 4, November 10.
Okay, Whiskey Bravo 4. What was the rest of it, please?
November Kilo Mike, NKM.
Okay, November Kilo Mike. And I have you, sir, so please go ahead.
Okay, Richard, thanks very much. This is Larry up in Virginia, WB4NKM. Conditions up this far are kind of rough tonight on me. I'm getting a lot of QRM, but I'm able to copy most of the QRP stations, and you're sounding good up here tonight, Richard. I'm running a Johnson Ranger, driving a Ameritron 811 amplifier, running about 155 watts tonight into a half-wave in-fed antenna, and receiving on a Hammer King 178. Thanks for letting me check in, Richard. 73s to all the mullets, and this is WB4NKM, that's clear.
WB4NKM, that's Larry. And Larry, I want to thank you for your check-in this evening. Conditions are, well, they're so-so. We've got a little QRN, and of course we're trying to run low power, and that's conducive for an evening with static and so forth. But I copied you 100%, and I want to thank you for your participation. So we're going to move along. Any additional whiskey calls would like to check in?
Whiskey 4, W4, MAC. Whiskey 4, Mike Alpha Charlie.
Okay, I think the last Golf, is that right?
Mike Alpha Charlie, MAC.
Oh man, that was much better. All right, W4 MAC, please go ahead.
Good evening. Yeah, the call's Whiskey 4, Mike Alpha Charlie. Name's Mac down here. It's like a log truck, about 40 miles north of Tampa. Been hearing about the net and trying to remember to get in here and check in with everybody. I did not try the QRP thing. I'm running, what, about a 100-watt carrier. No, I'm not. Something just went wrong and it went high. There we go. I don't know if I was getting feedback or what there, but I just looked over at the meter and it looked kind of silly. So, anyway, playing with old Halicrafters, HT32 and a SX115 receiver. It's a 32B. I wanted to check in, say hello, good evening, let you know we're down here in Florida listening to the net. I know we've got a lot of people up in the Panhandle, so as long as you have people over rolling around the bend, listening to this, nothing really special. W4 MAC, like the nut.
W4 MAC. That's Mike, and thank you for your check-in, Mike. I appreciate it very much. And considering the fact that we're running low power with this, if you've got anything that you can run low power with, you know, a solid state radio that you can turn the RF output down, that'll suffice. Anything that can create a QRP signal is appreciated for the month of February, but it is not necessary. Okay, so run what you got, and that's kind of the purpose that we're going to run with for this month. But low power is kind of the destination that we're trying to achieve. And I appreciate your check-in tonight, Mike, and we'll see you next week, we hope. So are there any other whiskey callers that would like to check into this net?
W4OB. Kilo Whiskey 5 Zulu.
Kilo 4 Charlie Whiskey.
Please, sir.
Well, good evening, fellow Mullets. Well, I'll tell you what, this QRP stuff is a rough road to hoe. I'm running 10 watts. I know where my radio will go. I'm running an SCBX 3000. It may go down lower than that. But that may not even be enough to clear the moisture off the antenna, you know. But good to hear everybody listening this evening, even though everything is low power. 73s to everyone on the net, and it's my prayer that the Lord's blessing will be upon everyone this evening. Kilo Whiskey 4 Zulu, back to that control.
Well, no problem whatsoever, Dennis. Good copy, and by the fact that we're observing low power this month, if you have another rig that you'd like to run next week, please do so. Continue as you are. You're doing a great job, and we appreciate your effort and your check-in this evening. So we're going to break with you, Dennis, and go to K4CWW. Perry, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. K4CWW. Good evening, everybody. I had a low-power rig preparing to check in with it tonight, but the way things are, I'm in Fayetteville, Georgia tonight, and the band's a little noisy, and I don't think my little pipsqueak is up to it tonight. But I have it ready to run it next week. I'm on the HT32B with amp up to about 100 watts tonight, and it is interesting, though. Some of the QRP guys are coming in here very well. So carry on, keep up the good work. K4CWW, Fayetteville, Georgia.
Okay, Perry. I have learned to be amazed over the past several years of a situation where we declare low power. And it is amazing the distance that can be achieved with just a few watts of power. And I know you know that to be true as well. So K4CWW, that's Perry, and we're going to break with you, my friend, and go to any other kilo station that we would like to check in. Randall, you there? K4RSX. I sure do. For me, it's somewhat of a disadvantage because you're so close, knowing that you're here in Pensacola. But I'll bet you there's other stations that are so clear that are copying you, and no problem at all. So that 1 watt is working for you, and I want to thank you for your check-in tonight, and we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the month. So, Randall, we're going to break with you. Any other K4 stations, or not K4, the kilo stations? Okay, that station I'm going to require a relay if you please.
Billy's trying to check in. Building 14.
KO4 SSY. Billy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm going to try. This thing is turned as low as it'll go, so probably around 1 to 2 watts.
KO4, Sierra Yankee. Billy, are you there?
7,300 turned all the way down.
He talking.
Is he talking right now?
He was.
Yeah, he's still talking.
Just wanted to try to see if we could get in there with that, and I'll get back out of the way. KO4 SSY on the 7,300.
He turned it to you, Richard.
Turn it back.
He did. And I'm coughing him good over here in Sweetwater. But he turned it back to you there.
Okay, I can't hear him. KO4 SSY. Billy, I know you're in there, my friend, and I know you're trying your best, so I'll pull you out. But I noted your call sign. Let's see if there's any other communication out there showing the new edge. I think we've got a QSIM going on as well. Let's go to November call. Anyone having a November call? On that.
November 4, Juliet.
Go ahead, Art. I still hear that same station in the background, but I've got a good copy on you, so please go ahead.
Okay, Richard. Well, I had my flip cranked back to 10 watts, and I figured everybody, I'm calming, just about everybody's running 10 watts. And by the way, Ray, W4OB, has called several times. I don't think you've heard him. I heard Randall on one run. My goodness, he did good. And Jimmy was knocking me out. And there's nothing I can do about John down for TP. So that's kind of what I have to report. Oh, also as far as the nets, Manuel and I have been talking. He's got a conflict next week. So I'm going to take the Mullet Net on Thursday the 8th, and he's going to take my net the next week. So we might want to jot that down. I'm not sure. Sure, I'm enjoying QRP, Rich. W4GCM from N4JK.
That's our net controls here in Pensacola. And tribute to the email that went out regarding that swap of nets amongst some of our net control stations. So I do have that information, but I want to thank you very much for making sure that I did copy it different next week. Different than what thank you very much. Hope Kate is doing well. And we're going to break with you. Are there any other November calls you would like to check in? Okay, not here. Let's move right along. And we'll go to alpha calls. Now we're having an alpha prefix.
Alpha 4, Bravo Sierra.
Alpha Delta 4, Quebec.
Okay, Alpha 4. Go ahead, please.
This is Dave, Alpha Delta 4, Quebec, in Millington. This is really looking good here tonight with the low power rigs. I'm running on my Viking too, though I don't have a low power rig that I was thinking about, but I could have gone on with Icon 7600, and I'll try to do that next week, turn the power down on it. But I'm running the Viking 2 CDC and receiving on R388. So I heard Art, 10 watts. I heard Dr. John with 5 watts.
And I heard John W4TP with 10 watts. So you guys with low power are really doing good. Maybe I can try it with 5 or 10 watts next week. Have a test, everybody. So back to you, Richard. W4TCM, AD4Q.
AD4Q, this is Dave, and Dave, thanks so much. I corrected my scribbled handwriting with regard to your prefix, and copied everything that you had signed. I appreciate it so much. It's very interesting to me to see what the effective distance can be with minimal power, and you're achieving a good distance. And I was going to check back and see where you're located. You may have mentioned it, but I may not have copied it, and probably didn't. So let's see if I have in this log, not the log, but on the roster. Let me see where you're located, because I suspect it's far more distant than what I expected. And of course, I'm having trouble getting back to where I wanted to be. Dave, you're in Millington. You told me that. Millington, Tennessee. So you're doing a great job, and I appreciate it very much. And let's see what we can do with even more power. So we're going to break with you, Dave, and go to AF1Z. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Richard and everybody, AF1Z down here in north central Florida, little town called O'Brien. My apologies for that calendar flipped over and I didn't see it. It's now February 1, and sorry I'm on the regular high power, but I make a solemn promise to get on next week and through the month. It turns out there are 5 Thursdays in this month. 5 Thursdays, so lots of opportunities here. And I've copied a lot of these guys with 1 and 2, 5 watts very well down here in Florida. So thanks, Richard, and I'll get opportunities for us slackers here to get on low power this month. 5 of them. See you later. All the best to everybody, AF1Z. Go ahead, sir.
AF1Z, that's Mark, and Mark's been around a long time. And don't worry about the issue of not running at low power. We tried to get the word out, but like yourself or others, some people didn't have the word or didn't remember, and that's perfectly okay. But we look forward to listening to what you got next week. And I'm going to ask for anyone else having an alpha call. I'm not hearing anyone, so we'll take anyone with any call, Whiskey Kilo November Alpha or other.
Hey, contact Richard. Contact Richard.
Go ahead, contact.
4.5 watts.
There's a Alpha something or other, but I believe he's on sideband. Let me see if I can get him on AM. Sir, we're on AM on that Alpha. Would you come back with your call again?
Sorry about that. I didn't realize I went flip the switch. I thought I was on AM. Alpha 4 Bravo Sierra, and I also turned the power up.
Was that Alpha 4 Bravo Sierra?
Roger.
Okay, well, very good evening to you, sir, and please come aboard.
Name here is Brian. I'm in northeast Tennessee, Greenville, Tennessee, just dropping by.
Well, you're doing a great job, Brian.
I'm sorry, you were a little light on me that time.
Well, I just wondered, is this your first check-in with this net?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I want to welcome you, and I hope it won't be your last. But we do this every Thursday evening, starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. This month is unique because we're running low power. We're asking that everybody checks in with low power on Thursday evening, and we're going to issue certificates for low power greatest distance and just plain low power to achieve a contact. So if you'd like to look into possibly competing with those parameters, then please do. And Brian, again, I want to welcome you. This is WA4FQU. I'm one of the net controls, and you'll be welcome each and every week. So that's AA4 Bravo Sierra Brian. Thanks for your check-in, Brian.
All right, well,
is there anyone else for to check into the Gulf Coast Mullets Society net. If so, please come now.
WB4NKL on QRP.
Okay, this is W4GCM. I'm really not hearing anyone else. And I want to thank everybody who's participated in the net this evening. I'm trying to find my preamble.
Hang in there, Cliff. I'll get you in there.
Let's see, where am I? This time the Gulf Coast Mullets Society will conclude, and I wish to thank all of those who have participated in our net this Thursday evening. And our next net will be 1 week from today. And you're going to be ushered in next week by Art, in for JK, and Art is a great host, and you'll enjoy your net with him. Again, it will be low power. We're asking that you check in with low power, significantly less than what you normally run. Typically in the low wattage 4 or 5 watt range or less. And there are certificates, two of them in fact. One for least power, greatest range. In other words, greatest distance from the net control. And the net control for the validation evening will be John, W4TP. And then, of course, just the greatest achievement for the least amount of power. And it doesn't have to do with specific location or anything else. So, as a reminder, the following AM nets are held weekly at 3885 kilocycles in the AM mode. Monday, the WE4A net. That will be net starting at 4:30 p.m. and actual net starting at 5. Tuesday nights, the W4AMI Southeastern AM Radio Club swap net with pre-net beginning at 5:30 and the actual net starting at 6. On Sunday mornings, the Florida Internet will present the Warren Ellie Memorial Net at 6 a.m. Central Time. Now that's Central, not Eastern. It'll be 7 Eastern. Also, please join the Collins Collectors Association net held on the first Wednesday. Boy, that really worked out well. First Wednesday night of the month beginning at 7 p.m. Central Time, Eastern Time actually. I had paperwork that was stuffed in the sheets, and it managed to ride up, and I could not find the rest of the text. Well, anyway, that's taken care of. And again, sorry for the kind of botched up from my perspective, and I want to thank everybody who checked into the net this evening for the Gulf Coast Mullets Society Low Power Night, and we're going to do it again for several nights through the 22nd, which will validate the, or commensurate with the validation of everything that's been done thus far. So, with that in mind, everybody have a very safe weekend and week and so forth. And this will be W4GCM now concluding. And again, please join all of the various nets that are available for AM operation. This is W4GCM now clear and returning the net to normal amateur use.
Contact Richard. Richard.
Thank you all. I know I kind of botched it up a bit. I got a like button.
Richard with the relays. He's not here now.
Yeah, Roger. Well, he was on a TRAM Titan 2 CB converted to 75 meter doing 4 watts.
Yeah, I copy him good. Yeah, relay that over there to him, if you will. Just send him a text or email or something. He missed terrible, but that's the way it is.
Roger, Roger. Text it over to him. I don't think I have his number. I can send him an email later on, though. All right, 7-3s, I'm out.
Good evening.